Welcome to Bay Rats and Buoys with your host, Captain Gaige.
What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Bay Rats and Buoys. I'm your host, Captain Gaige. This is episode number 12, and thank you so much for tuning in. Greatly appreciate all your support and all the listeners out there. You guys are awesome. And just to give you some statistics on the listeners, let me tell you, Brooklyn is killing it. This podcast is viewed in 8 different countries. Some of them off the top of my head: Germany, Bangladesh, Mexico, United Kingdom, and obviously the most views are in the United States. But it's really cool to see how it spans the globe. And speaking of spanning the globe, we have some when I tell you, we have some national news for Bay Rats and Buoys to start off 2025. And the reason I'm going to wait another 2 weeks until we release it and break the information is there's just some marketing and some work going on the back end. But it's official. So I'm bursting at the seams to share some really good news and some great stuff with you guys. Not only on Bay Rats and Buoys. I mean, I got some great information to share just from Captain Gaige's status, from Sand City Charters, expansion from its first 3 years as a charter business. So there's a lot of cool stuff to talk about. 2024 was an amazing year. It really was. But I got to say that 2025, starting in January, is going to be the breakout year for everything that I have going on with Bay Rats and Buoys and Sand City Charter. It is just going to be an epic year, and I'm super excited to share that information with you. But I also have to hold off. I'm very humble. Even though I'm bursting at the seams with all the good news, I'm still very humble and taking it all in stride. And just want to thank you guys, for tuning in and doing everything that we do as far as, the Facebook admins that help share the posts and get it out there in the Facebook groups. You guys are awesome. And the comments are great, like, what was his name? Jojo Napoli. So, Captain of the Kitchen. I appreciate the comment you make on YouTube, and anybody that comments, I always answer back and write back. So go ahead, guys. Stop what you're doing and go write a comment and talk to me. I'm happy to answer any questions and talk back to you. So feel free to throw some comments into the video, 100%. And again, we get a lot of requests. People want to send us products. That happens a lot through what we're doing. And sandcitycharter.com, you can access any of my information, the phone number, the email, everything is there. So, guys, I'm right out here, on social media. I'm not hiding anywhere, so you don't got to get through any security guards to get to me. So anything you want to send my way and reach out and talk to me about anything, I'll be happy to talk to you 100%. And so, yeah, Captain of the Kitchen. Speaking of Captain of the Kitchen, I got to tell you, I just hung up with Chef Rob, and he is going to be a guest on episode number 13. He's scheduled in for that one, and that's during the Christmas break here. So I'm hoping I get that video up on Thursday. That is the game plan, guys. Every Thursday we do put up a new video, and I think we're like 14 subscribers away on YouTube from 1,000 subscribers. And that's awesome because we did it all organically. We didn't pay. We just promoted videos. We didn't pay to have any new subscribers added, through, 5,000, 10,000, pay to have, we want to do it all organically, and we want to grow with you guys. So if you have any friends that are listening or friends that are into fishing and boating, tune in because we have some really cool stuff to talk about. And, all the new technology. I'll share some of the magazines. Obviously, I'm in Southern Boating Magazine often enough, so I subscribe to that one. It's an awesome magazine to see all the bigger boats and the yachts and the technology that's going on. And obviously, the Fisherman magazine. This is the November one I have in my studio here. So I have other current ones, the December ones at my house, sitting on my desk in Captain's Quarters. So I just finished sitting here and doing the fishing report for the week. I've been in the studio all day today. It's been a busy day, a lot going on, and a lot of great news to share with you guys. So let's start off with, this is one of my favorite times of the year. I got to say, the holiday season is my favorite time because friends and family, like tomorrow, for instance, be hanging out with all the captains. We're going to go do some skeet shooting here on Long Island. So every year we get together for that. And that's a ton of fun. So anytime you're hanging out with guys from work, the abuse is going to be nonstop and the laughs are nonstop. And then we go out for lunch afterwards. And the studio holiday party, that's next Friday. So that's what's cool about this time of the year is, working in different groups and doing different stuff. The camaraderie and the holiday season of the gift giving and all that fun stuff. So figured I'd share some of that with you guys. Speaking of gifts, we're always happy to get you guys some Bay Rats and Buoys podcast stickers. They're still available. I think I have a couple of hundred left to give away, so you can head on over to sandcitycharter.com if you want a sticker. Be happy to send one out to you. And, so next week, it's going to be an epic episode, guys. You have no idea what you're in for, because when me and Chef Rod, Johnny Porkchop calls me up, makes a video the other day. Yo, Johnny's flipping pork chops on the grill there. He's an amazing chef. And we're like two peas in a pod. And when we're on the boat together, we're going to play videos for you next week that, it's just nonstop. He's an amazing angler. So you don't have to worry about hooking into fish when he's on the boat. When it's just me and him, forget about it. The fishing is going to be lights out because, it's nice when you have two guys on the boat that actually know what they're doing. And it really does make a difference. Me and Corey are used to going out and taking people that have no idea what they're doing and putting them on fish. And, it's not easy, and doing various techniques. It's not like we troll around all the time looking to catch all the bass that we caught. We want to teach you how to do it the right way and jig them up and, use slow pitch jigs and flutter spoons. And I'll break down in the episode one of our epic, lures that we use. But I'm a big fan of Nomad. I talked about it last week, 2 weeks ago or last week with Corey. And, I love the hooks that they use. But my point is that when me and Chef Rob are on the boat, we're throwing everything at them, and we got multiple rods with multiple things tied up, and what we like to say is we're ready for battle. So me and Johnny, it's Johnny everything when you're on the boat, reel it in, Johnny, I'm hooked up, Johnny. And so when you guys hear the stories next week, you're going to hear some real raw and authentic footage. And I just hung up the phone with him. He just called me. He's super excited to come on the episode. He's coming up from the Carolinas, and he was a local here in Northport, and you guys are just in for a big treat. And anybody that wants to fight him, he's a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, so he'll just be happy to fight you and twist you up in a pretzel. That's just who he is. And I can't wait. I'm just as excited as you are, Chef Rob, so I'm excited to get you on. And when I saw Captain of the Kitchen, Jojo, I thought that was hysterical. It's a great handle. And you will obviously enjoy next week's episode because Chef Rob is going to break down. He's going to tell you guys you have no idea what you're doing in the kitchen. You have no idea what you're doing when it comes to cutting up and cooking the fish and what to do. This guy could turn a sea robin into sashimi on a world-class yacht for, gazillionaires. And it's just a skill level, it's above everybody else, and it's awesome. So that's next week. So I'm super excited about next week, but I'm also excited about this week because there's a lot going on. And like yesterday, it was 60 degrees. It was 56 degrees on Tuesday. So my kid gets off the bus, and I'm on the boat, I'm in the cover, and he has no idea. And I'm yelling, I'm like, Ethan, get over here, I need your hand. I'm doing something. So you give me a 56-degree day, and there's something to do on the boat. I'll get it done. It's nice and warm. But in the cold weather, that's it. I'm done. I'm finished. I got to go down south. So I got a couple trips planned in January and February to hit the warmer waters and come down south. So if you guys are down south and you want to fish and you want to do something, hit me up because I am game. I'm open for anything and everything. We want to get out there. Last trip I came down, I took my nieces and nephews out. We got on some blackfin tuna and sailfish. Now, my nephew had never caught anything saltwater wise in Florida. He hits all the lakes and the rays. He's really into the freshwater fishing. So getting, peacock bass in the backyard where we live in the lake was just awesome. And this trip, I said to him, yeah, we're going to get on some big fish. So I had hooked into this blackfin tuna. I'll put it up here on the B-roll. I hooked into this blackfin tuna, and he landed this sailfish. Now, imagine going from not catching any saltwater fish to your first saltwater fish is, a 5.5, 6 foot long sailfish. It's just a beautiful species. I absolutely love it. So I love the pelagic waters and the species that are down there. And it was just clear blue water. I just love it. So I'm coming, guys. I'm coming down south. I can't wait. And we got a lot going on. There's all kinds of shows happening. So I'm heading down south. There's all kinds of, podcasts and fishing shows and boat shows. It is endless. So that's the good thing about the magazines. You do get to keep up to date with what's going on and where it's happening and what's happening. So I do subscribe to a lot of different fishing and boating magazines. It does keep you in the know. There's always some downtime where you grab a magazine, waiting for somebody with a boat and doing something. Waiting for somebody to come down to the boat, which is a video that I put on TikTok. And I got to tell you, the comments. You got to go to this video just to read the comments because I can't put them all on the screen. And for me to sit here and read them to you, it's not as much fun. But on TikTok, one of the videos that I put out there were the 3 don'ts on a boat, 3 things not to do on a boat. And guys were writing comments to me. You're so cocky. I would never get in a goddamn boat with you and go fishing. You're out of your mind. And guys, I was making a video, for God's sakes. I was acting. There's a reason why I was giving you that demeanor in the video, because there's 3 things you should never do on a boat. Don't show up late, Don't ask me what time we're coming back, So you watch that video, and it is epic. I actually am going to put it up on YouTube Shorts. So that's been a popular thing right now. And because of the 1,000 subscribers and what I've done to the YouTube channel, you can check out the artwork, guys. We're really trying to ramp up this Bay Rats and Buoys. And the team I have working with me behind it is doing a phenomenal job. We're killing it. And I'm happy to hear any feedback. If you guys see any of the stuff we're putting up on Facebook and YouTube, check it out. But we're going to start putting up those videos that went viral on TikTok. One of them's got like 856,000 views on TikTok. And I'm re-editing that video now. I was doing it today to get it ready to put it up on the YouTube Shorts video. So throughout the whole winter, I'm just going to, every other day, we're going to be putting up videos because I have content upon content on top of content and more content on top of that. So I even said to Chef Rob, I'm like, dude, I got you catching stingrays with me on the beach. It was the bycatch for shark fishing. And I said, I got a ton of videos of you. You were on every GoPro, that was on my boat. So he's worried about sending me pictures and having videos. And so we're collaborating to get the B-roll together for you guys. So really, next week is going to be, episode 13 is going to be an epic episode. And I know you're going to love it. So it's something for us to look forward to and something for you to look forward to. But the YouTube Shorts and putting all those videos together, there's so much work involved. Right here, I'm sitting in a studio right now, talking into a mic and into a GoPro. So that's it. There's no teleprompters. There's no producers. I'm the producer. And I'm the host. So that's it. Somebody sitting next to me, then I got a guest. And I can't wait to share the news with you after New Year's, guys. It's one for us to be proud of, and like I said, I'm bursting at the seams, but I do have to hold off on promoting it just yet, so we are going to put it out after New Year's, and it's big. So we put a lot of hard work into this podcast, and even though it's just me, it's growing into a lot more than just me and what we're doing with it and where it's going, and I'm excited about that because I love doing it. I love producing it. I love talking about fishing and boating, and this time of the year, now that there's no boat and I got to go stand in the river in the cold, I got to pick my 45-degree days because that's really my threshold. I told you that last week. I really like when it's a little bit warmer. I'm not going when it's 32 and the guides on my fly rod are freezing and the ice is building up and the guides. It just takes all the fun out of it for me. But there's so much to do right now. So not only with all the video content that I have from the 2024 fishing season, because we absolutely crushed it this year on the bass, and we were making some fun videos while we were doing it. And now that the season's done, I'm going to go ahead and edit them and put the videos up. I don't do it every week. I'm super busy during the charter season that I don't have time to go home at night and edit the video. I go home, I go to sleep, I wake up, I'm fishing, and then I'm a commercial tow captain. I go home, I go to sleep, I wake up, and the next morning I'm fishing, and I say, it's just rinse and repeat. So do I love it? 100%. Does that make me crazy? Absolutely. But that's the passion behind boating and fishing, and we have a certain time frame to do it in. We have a window, April to November. So I can't wait until it's 12 months of the year for me, where we're doing 7 months here and 5 months down in Florida, and we're working on that right now. So I know that is in the game. That's in the game plan. It's happening. It's just there's a lot of pieces, and once they're all put together strategically, then it all comes together, and then we launch it and tell you what we're doing. But in the meantime, I can tell you we're all working on it and we're making it happen. But logistically, there's just a lot that goes into it. So this time of the year, what are you guys doing? Are you fishing? Do you go fly fishing? Do you go on destination trips to go scratch some of those fish off your bucket list? Like the roosters or the red cabreras. I got so many on the bucket list that every year I gotta get at least 2 to 4 of them off the bucket list, if not more. But now that I'm doing this a lot more, I plan on doing the bucket list checkoffs, maybe at least once a month, so I can get 12 fish off the bucket list. And I want to challenge Michael Jordan. I want to be out there and compete against the Catch 23 boat, and beat him in a black, marlin, blue marlin. I got to go after some big fish. I got to do it. So I'm really taking this to a whole new level. So any of you guys that go out there and do, and guys out east, heading out to the canyons and doing the offshore fishing, that's next on my list. I've been an inshore fisherman for so many years, and now I'm expanding. But what do you guys do? Hit us up in the comments and tell me, what kind of fishing you do this time of the year. If you're here on Long Island, are you hitting the lakes? Do you hit the rivers, or are you done? Because a lot of guys, that's it. They're couch potatoes. They're watching videos like this, and, they're going to work on gear. And a lot of guys may not even work on the gear until March. Like, there's a few things that I could do now to prepare for the boat, mid-March. Because you give me a 45, 50-degree day in March, and that covers off. That's it. As long as I can see there's no more 29-degree days and forecasted snowstorms, that's what I try to eliminate from stacking up on the boat and while we do stuff and get it ready. So once I get down to a day where it's 50 degrees, that cover comes off, and that's it. New electronics are going on, all kinds of new stuff. There's, so all winter we're stockpiling all the stuff that we can't wait to uncover the boat, and then, add new stuff every year. That's just part of what we do in the wintertime is get ready for the springtime. So what do you guys do in the wintertime? And I'd love to hear in the comments, like JoJo, are you doing any fishing in the rivers? Do you guys do any fly fishing? Because there's a ton of saltwater fishermen, and then there's a ton of saltwater fly fishermen. There's guys that only want to catch striped bass with fly rods, and they're at the beach, working on, getting it out there and catching striped bass. And, I give you a lot of credit. That's not easy. It's not easy showing up at a Van Stall and heaving a diamond jig out there and catching striped bass, more or less, finessing the fly out there for a certain distance and actually landing the fish, being that close to them. And, I commend that. I think that's awesome. So what do you guys do? Are you fly fishing in the winter? Are you saltwater fishing? Are you fresh fishing? Let's know. Let me know. Are you freshwater fishing? Let us know in the comments. And this way I get to keep track of, where everybody is, what they're doing. We got a huge, and guys, when I say this, I am not exaggerating by any means, but Bay Rats and Buoys has a huge following in Brooklyn and the South Shore. So even though I'm a Huntington charter boat and I fish the North Shore predominantly, there's times where you're going to find me at Smith's and Shinnecock and driving the truck on the beach and fishing from the beaches and jumping on other guys' boats on the South Shore and heading out to the wrecks, the reefs, and the canyons and all that stuff. And I can't believe the following that we have. When I saw the numbers, I did a double take. I thought it was spelled wrong. I thought something was wrong in the statistics, but I just couldn't believe that Brooklyn was ranking in the top 5 as far as viewership for Bay Rats and Buoys. And I lived in Sheepshead Bay, guys. So I moved out of Northport as a kid, and I moved to Manhattan. And when I moved to Manhattan, I was a professional dancer. So being a dancer in the entertainment circuit, in the entertainment industry, I met a ton of people. And so my resources, back then were incredible. But when I moved out of Manhattan, I moved to Brooklyn, and I moved to Sheepshead Bay. So I got a lot of love for Brooklyn, all the Brooklynites. I got stories to tell you, and never ending. I mean, we got stories upon stories from Brooklyn. Brooklyn is just an exciting place to live and to be, just like the city was. I love that I lived in the city because it was so fast paced. And now the guys that I see posting all the videos fishing in the city, I have some really good buddies of mine that come on my boat as much as they can. So if they have a day off and they tell me they have a certain window that they're going to be in Huntington and they could be on Long Island, I tell them, come on down, because we'll get out on the boat, even if it's just for 2 hours, even if it's just get out before the sun goes down, or if they can fish at nighttime, whatever we could do, I get them out. So after working a charter in the morning, commercial tow captain, until whatever time I get off, I'm willing to go out a couple more hours and fish with my buddies. Call that lunacy. That's definitely, my wife's like, you said you had a half day of fishing. And I said, yeah, a half day is 12 hours. It's 24 hours in a day. So if I can get 12 hours of fishing in a day, I'm going fishing for 12 hours. It's just how it is. And she's cool with it. And that's why, you sometimes, hey, listen, guys, if you're lucky to go fish with your girl, that's awesome. She's not going fishing with me, but she'll bring her friends and go on the boat. They'd rather go out, go to the restaurants and go drinking. Speaking of drinking, there's the old Captain's DC. No sponsor. Just something I got to get rid of and start drinking water and healthier stuff, which I do. I've been in the gym and I'm working out now, and 2025 is my year to really transform into, good stuff. It's not even my New Year's resolution. It's just New Year's reality, I could easily put on the pounds like anybody else come the wintertime. So I'm staying busy, no doubt about it. So I'm still shocked that Brooklyn's at the top of the list. But thank you, Brooklyn. Appreciate it. You guys are awesome. And let's keep it going. And I'll keep shouting out. I mean, I can't believe, the feedback that we get. You guys are awesome. The Facebook admins, I got to thank you guys, because every week you guys are sharing the post and putting them up in the groups. And to me, that means a lot, because this is just a podcast created here in the studio, and I put it up on the internet. It could get 0 views. Nobody could care. Who cares? Bay Rats and Buoys. Beat it, kid. That could be the attitude. But there are a lot of people out there that are just as passionate about fishing and boating as I am, and talking about it gets those people to talk to me about it, which is just like when I'm down at the marina, and a shout out to the guys down at my marina in Huntington, so Frank, Frank's got a Grady White, and I'll tell you right now, if he puts a for sale sign in that Grady White, it would get sold in less than an hour. The boat's impeccable. When I tell you impeccable, it is the cleanest Grady White I've ever seen. Obviously next to Valhalla, because it's not a Grady, but it's another clean boat in the marina. We got a lot of really cool captains and skippers and anglers that really know what they're doing in my marina, and I love it. And Big Joe, I'm going to see you at the shows, so I'm excited about that. You and Chris, I'm hoping Chris will join you this year. Usually I run into you at Ward Melville. Frank, we already mentioned Frank and the Grady White. Then you got Tony, and he goes out every morning and he hits the back bays, and he's throwing, half-ounce bucktails for striped bass, and fluke fishing, or, right in the local area. Guys don't have to go far. And CT, Chris, I love having you on my boat. You even brought a couple of your buddies this year. We nailed. I mean, Jesus, we were tripled up. We were tripled up on bass, and another boat from our marina was yelling over to us, "What are you guys using?" And we were like, "Jigs." And there they were, asking us what we were using. I showed you in the video that we were using diamond jigs. But when I tell you, we were hooked up 3-4 at a time. I stopped fishing. Guys, when I'm with my buddies, I don't have to catch fish. I'll grab the GoPro and make really cool videos. And, it's beneficial. It's beneficial for business, beneficial for making fishing videos, and it's also beneficial for the people that are on the boat. They get to see themselves, and they're happy to show the fish off. And when you got guys and girls on the boat catching, big 20, 25-pound bass, and in our area, I love catching 20, 25-pound bass. That's an awesome diamond jig, floater spoon, doesn't matter, but we yelled over that we were using jigs, and we were using the Nomad Vibe. And I'm going to show you my Vibe collection in one of the videos. Because I'm in the studio, I'm not sitting on the boat. All the stuff is it's at home in captain's quarters. Make sure the hooks get changed out for the wintertime and there's no rust. I just don't like rust on my stuff, guys. My stuff is impeccable. My boat is clean. My rods, my reels, everything is clean. I'm real fanatic with keeping everything really in good shape. Yesterday, that's why I was on the boat. It was warm. It was warm out. I jumped up under the cover and found a bunch of knives and grabbed everything that I want to get sharpened in the wintertime. And, I don't like rust on anything. And so, but we were using the Nomad Vibes. And that was the secret weapon for the day. So we weren't yelling out, "Yo, we're using Nomad Vibes." We just yelled we were using jigs because they didn't have Nomad Vibes on their boat. But they were 35 feet away from us. And we were tripled up. And they were not catching fish like we were catching fish. So that's my point of having so many different options on the boat and knowing how to explore and when to explore the different options, because sometimes it's as stupid as a color. And we talk about that all the time, sometimes it's a color that's working. And, I talked about that when we were on the 20 and 30 pound bass and me and Corey had put down gold flutter spoons. Kenny put down a silver, and they were stacked. The fish, you thought they would hit anything, but they weren't hitting that silver as fast as they were hitting the gold, and sometimes the color makes all the difference. And so why we put out multiple colors. If we got 4 guys on the boat, let's use 4 different colors and see who's hooking up first and fast and hooking up the most and the most consistent. And that's why we love. So from mini mojos so I have every style jig, and we have all the fluorocarbon you can imagine on the boat to hook up leaders and try to fool the fish, because sometimes it's just them being finicky. And I'll talk to other charter captains, and he'll get on the horn and he'll call me up on the phone and be like, "Gaige, get these fish to chew already." And it's just a matter of getting the water moving. Sometimes it's just a matter of waiting out the tide. But when you're on a charter, sometimes you don't have that luxury of waiting. Like when me and Corey go out for a full day of, exploration, and it doesn't matter where we go and what we do, we have all day to do it. So we could fish the incoming, the outgoing, the top, the bottom, the ebb. We fish the entire tide cycle, the whole tide cycle. 2 times, 3 times, we'll fish there 24 hours. We don't care. Which is something we plan on doing next year in all the tournaments. We're gonna make a presence next year. We're going to be in all the local tournaments. So if you guys are hosting or you're having a tournament, let me know about it. Shoot me a message. You already heard me say it here on the podcast. I want in. Just like I said, I want to challenge Michael Jordan. I want to beat Catch 23 in one of the Marlin tournaments. So hopefully you hear that, Michael. The number 1 athlete in the world. He was just the greatest, basketball player of all time. And there's no question. There's no question. LeBron doesn't stand a chance against it. It shouldn't even be mentioned in the same sentence. Not even close. But the fact that Michael Jordan is into fishing, which I was telling a buddy of mine today, and he had no idea. He's like, "Get the hell out of here." I'm like, "Bro, just go look up Catch 23. You got to see his boat. It's a beautiful Viking." And, so my size for Christmas is a large shirt and a 65-foot Viking to any of you, dealers out there. I'm in the market. I'm looking. So I asked you what you guys do during the wintertime and getting gear ready and doing all that stuff. But I jumped on the boat. I took the knives off, get the rust. I change out all the hooks. So at the Ward Melville show, I buy everything in bulk. I try to buy as much as I can from the local guys. I don't need to go on Amazon and give Jeff Bezos any more of my money. It's not necessary. I'd rather support the local shop. So if you do that in the wintertime, guys, and bring your reels in now to get cleaned, don't bring them in on April 13th thinking you're just going to get it back in 2 days. It's not going to happen in most cases, and it's just not fair to go in and ask them to do that. You have all winter to get your gear ready, and so that is what I'm doing right now, is getting all my gear ready. Everything gets fixed. Everything gets spooled up. So come April, when that boat's getting splashed down, it's getting tuned up, the bottom's getting painted, it's getting splashed down. I put the rods on the boat. I put it in the marina. Guys, I'm ready to go. When I leave the marina, I'm worrying about what egg sandwich or what's my breakfast sandwich that I'm eating, leaving the 10 minutes it takes me to get out of the no-wake zone. That's my time to eat my sandwich, not put lures on. These rods leave, we're ready. Everything's tied up and ready to go. When I hit the river to go fly fishing, I got 2 rods. I walk down the river to get to my spot with 2 fly rods already set up. They got 2 different flies on them, and I'm ready. So I'm not even getting to my spot and worrying about what am I going to tie on. I did that at home. The rods are ready to go. I get there. I'm ready to fish. I get broken off. I grab the other one, and I'm ready to go. So that's just who I am, and that's really the captain in me. And I'm not really even OCD. I just like being prepared. And as a captain, you really got to be prepared out there, which is, last week's episode I explained, a couple of the apps that I use. I told you about Windy. When you go to that narrow coast, which is the Coast Guard, the weather buoys, you also have to look down there in the weather buoy and see when that information was last posted, because it gives you a date and a time of that current information. It's not like, up to the minute off of the weather buoy. It takes time to get it from the weather buoy to the internet. So it's a little different than the apps, but it'll show you what the conditions are and were. So you got to be aware of certain things like that. So that's why I told you to be prepared in the wintertime and learn how to use what I told you about last week, whether it be Navionics, whether it be the My Radar app, whether it be the Coast Guard app. Don't wait till you have a problem to try to figure out how to do it. You don't have to press call 911 or call Coast Guard to practice. Those buttons work. You don't got to do it, but you got to figure it out. You could open up the float plan and figure out how to use the float plan part of it, which we discussed last week. Nobody files for a float plan. You leave your house, your wife has no idea. She's like, yeah, I'm launching the boat at the Loco Stacks. She has no idea where you're going. She doesn't know if you're heading to the middle grounds. She doesn't know if you're heading to Hempstead Harbor. You didn't tell her where you're going. You just said, honey, I'm going fishing. See you later, like the rest of us do. And I get it. But again, I brought it up last week. You could learn how to use the float plan thing. Learn how to use those apps. Get good at it. The Windy app. Use the Windy app. The Windy app is great. Shows you the wind direction is swirling, it's changing. You scroll your hand through the times, and it shows you certain times of the day where it's going to be. It's color coded. Then you could also have the version where it shows you on the side of the screen what the wind speed is. So you can see it's 18 miles an hour out of the south, or. So this time of the year, it's just getting prepared for the springtime. And I think I didn't even look at my site. April 15th is, probably within the 120-day mark. Last time I looked, it was 126. So maybe we're breaking down under 120 now. We're getting there. We're getting closer. That's all I know. And I'm super excited. Just like I'm excited about the podcast every week. I love sitting down here and talking to you guys and just bullshitting about fishing and what we have coming up in the wintertime for January, February, and March is going to be epic. And I want you guys to enjoy this journey with us. That it's not just me. It's me and you. JoJo, captain of the kitchen. It's me and you. It's cool to hear the stories. It's great to see that you're a boating enthusiast and a great angler and, the self-proclaimed chef. I love it. So guys, I read what you write. I check out profiles. I look and see what you do. So any of you guys that want to reach out and give some comments, go ahead. That's what this is all about. It's about connecting with other people. And I love connecting with other people and new people. Speaking of, Chef Rob, when you're on, we got to call Jaden. We got to call Jaden from Treyway. I got to connect with him. So either I'm going down to see him or, if he's back here in the States, when I'm down south, I got to, me and him got to collaborate 100%. Love Jaden. And so just want to throw that out there while I'm talking about people that I want to connect with and do different stuff with besides calling out Michael Jordan, which I'll do on a national level because things are going to change. Things are getting big for us here. So I'm hoping he hears that. So I'm not challenging him to a game of golf where I got to be in a foursome where I have a chance as a slim and none and slim's home sleeping. It's a fishing tournament. I can enter the tournament that I know he's in. So I'm coming for you, and just putting that out there, guys. A lot of fun. So in a lot of the videos that I make, I like to make the videos fun, especially the fishing videos. And today I was reminded of one of the funniest things that I told you last week when I talked about the UV rating and I said the sunscreen. I'm going to do it. I just got to wait for the right time. Everything has a time and a place. So I don't like to force things. Like I don't want to force, telling you everything at once. Everything has a time and a place. And that's going to be its own episode. So it's probably going to be an episode where I just tell you all the pranks and all the crazy shit that we do. Just to entertain you a little bit and have a little fun. So it's not just, a boring fishing podcast where, yeah, guys, today it's sunny and we're out fishing for trout. No, man, we have a ton of fun. When we go, it's ball breaking, and people are putting fish in people's pockets and pants and Grundins. And yeah, speaking of Grundins, I wear the tournament edition. What do you guys, I see a lot of guys, they're done with the white. White is out. So the Michelin Tire Man, that's out. So a lot of guys, in the charter world, a lot of guys like to wear the orange. Orange is the professional Grundins. I happen to wear the blue and gray tournament ones because blue and gray is the colors for Sand City on my boat. So the deck it and the different stuff that I have is gray and blue. So those are the colors in the logo, the sweatshirts, all that stuff. So I went with gray and blue. So I like to match up different colors and stuff. And this time of the year, I'll even make some cushions, We'll sew covers, we'll stitch things and do some cool stuff. So that's what the wintertime, this downtime is really a time to get everything together. And I'm enjoying telling you guys about all the different stuff that we do because I'm sure you guys are doing the same thing. How many of you guys are home tying flies right now? Flies that you're never going to use. All right? Because if you're anything like me, I tied Clouser minnows. My mate Corey laughs at me. If I open this bin, I can give any of you right now a handful of Clouser minnows. And I'm talking grab a handful of them and hand them to you in a Ziploc bag. It wouldn't even make a dent in the amount and I'm not going to resell them. I bought them, I made them because we use them on the boat and I'm stocked up. So that's what I like to do this time of the year. What do you guys like to do? Are you guys flying, tying flies? Are you getting all your plugs and all your hooks removed, putting on new swivels, and all the different stuff. So I should have that stuff with me when I want to talk about that stuff with you guys, but it's terminology that we all know. So whether you're putting on the snap swivels or using TA clips, that's probably the biggest thing I'll probably have to pick up this year is, and right now I could say I have enough to last me through next season, but I'll stock up on, TA clips. So there's, an item that I definitely have to get. Can't wait to show you guys the shark rig. I was going to do the shark episode this week, but I knew I wasn't going to have my drone here with me in the studio. So I got to get a lot of stuff together and put it into a crate to get ready for the shark episode because there's a lot of gear that I want to show you, not just tell you about. Like I'm telling you now without showing you, which I could put it on the screen, but with the shark stuff, I really want to show it to you. And even Chef Rob, he's got crazy shark experience too. He was all addicted when I was doing it. He was crazy, wanted to go, and we'll tell you that story next week. So make sure you tune in. This is episode number 12. I can't believe that we're on episode 12 already, and I really got to say, it was pretty easy to get them going once I got into it. Not a lot of editing. It's more of the B-roll now that I'm throwing in that's more of a pain in the ass. Like if I don't put any B-roll into this episode, it's a matter of just putting the audio together with the video, exporting it, and putting it up and getting it out. So it is pretty simple. The B-roll does make it a little more because I got to do a little more editing, which I don't mind, to give you guys a better experience. But there's also, there's thousands of people that download just the audio version of this. If you check it out on our YouTube or Facebook, you're seeing the video. So you're seeing me talk. And there are so many people that just hear the audio version, whether it be, I think the biggest marketplace for it is Apple, Spotify, and podcasters, or one of those. There's a few of them that it's on, but it's on anywhere. If you go into anywhere and typed in Bay Rats and Buoys, wherever you get podcast, you're going to get it. It's available. So, and if it's not, let me know that you listen on a certain platform and it wasn't there. But I check them all, and I see it, so I know where it is. I get the statistics. I see it every week. But if you do see one, that you listen to podcasts on, it's not there, let me know. Help us out. We're trying to grow the podcast, Bay Rats and Buoys. It's growing, baby. And super excited, 14 people away from hitting the 1K mark. Today is Wednesday. This video will be up on Thursday. We're a week away from Christmas. Next week will be Christmas. I'm going to put the podcast up on Thursday, the day after Christmas. I'm not sure what day me and Chef Rob are going to get to record it and come in here into the studio. But it will air. I'm staying consistent to the Thursdays. Every Thursday, there will be a new episode. And the Facebook admins, greatly appreciate everything you do. Guys, check it out at YouTube because I really want to build that YouTube channel. I guarantee you that in the beginning of the year, in the first 3 months of the year, that we're going to hit the 5K and 10K mark easily with what we're doing on the internet. So I'm really excited about that. And keep the comments coming. I'm excited, getting all the comments from you guys. Fisherman Magazine, Southern Boating Magazine. I do have an advertisement of the Fisherman. You see the fishing report that I do that comes out every week before this in the Facebook groups. And this week, I'm supposed to do a 90-second, Tim and Matt. So I gave them a thank you this week in the video, gave them a shout out. And I'm supposed to do 90 seconds, a minute to 90 seconds. I don't think I've submitted a 90-second video until today. I think today was a minute and 29 seconds, which is what I'm supposed to give you. And during the season, I always give you guys 2 minutes because there's so much to report on. And I'm sorry. It's just how it is. But I appreciate you guys and all the hard work you guys do to put that video and that report out for the Fisherman Magazine. I know a lot of work goes into it with the sponsors and putting it all together. You reach out to us and ask who's doing a report because Matt's got to make the B-roll where he's introducing the next captain or the next fisherman that's doing the report. So he's got to do that in advance. And, a lot of work goes into making these videos, guys. So I hope you guys appreciate it. I really do. I could tell by a lot of the comments that a lot of you do. Johnny Lee, that was the black fishing after fluke season ends. I'm trying to remember all the groups and all the people that do say things to me. I try to bring you up and mention you. And it's just because I appreciate you. I really do. And I hope you appreciate the hard work that goes into creating a podcast and what we're doing here on this platform. Going to make it a lot of fun for you guys. Next week's episode is going to be epic. Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa. I think they also say Joyous Kwanzaa. And Merry Christmas. We're nowhere near as New Year's yet, so don't get the resolutions ready. We're not ready for that. But Christmas gift-wise, 64-foot Viking, 65. I'll take the 80. I got to compete with Jordan. I am a large. In any shirts you guys want to send me your merch and products, get it out to us. We'll be happy to show it off for you. And any of the products that you guys want tested, you let us know. We'll be happy to do it for you. Guys were reaching out to us last week on Facebook. They're going to send us over at Clicks for a fuel spill containment piece that goes. So we're excited to see that. And it's always nice to hear guys that are reaching out to us that want to send us stuff. It happens every week. So it's pretty cool. And when you do send us the stuff, I will show it on the podcast and show it off. So if you want to get your product seen here on the podcast, let us know. We'll be happy to do that because we like to help smaller businesses grow, just like you guys are helping a smaller podcast grow to a national level. That'll be your big hint for coming into the news we're going to launch in New Year's. I said I'm bursting at the seams and I can't wait. And I will share it right after New Year's. So that podcast that comes out that week will have the information that I want to share with you guys about Bay Rats and Buoys taking it to the next level. So episode 12 is in the books. It's done. I thank you guys for tuning in. I really do. If you want a Bay Rats and Buoys podcast sticker, head on over to sandcitycharter.com. I think I have a couple of hundred left, maybe like 150 or 200 left to get out to you guys. And then it's on for the new merchandise. New merchandise will be available in January, and we're really excited about that. So, again, get on over to YouTube and hit that subscribe button. You want to put a smile on my face, that's the way to do it. Thanks to all the Facebook admins for sharing it and posting it. And guys out there, thanks for commenting on it. Greatly appreciate you all. And have a Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy Hanukkah. Have a happy and healthy holiday season. I hope you guys have a great holiday this week. And I'll see you back here next week after Christmas. Wishing everybody bent rods, tight lines. And I'll see you out on the water.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Bay Rats and Buoys. Be sure to visit sandcitycharter.com. and follow Captain Gaige on all our social media channels.